It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey there, and thank you for joining us on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. This NBA season didn't take long to get interesting, but these two gentlemen have always captured our interest. Say hello to Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Hello, Kenny.
Hey, how are you?
Hello, Shaq. The action tonight will be happening out in Los Angeles, where the Clippers will be going up against the Golden State Warriors. And for Golden State, the game tonight marks their second of 4 meetings they will play this season, and they come into this one feeling pretty good after winning the last time they met. Well, the Clippers had a bit of a meltdown last postseason. They tried to remedy that over the summer. First change.
Greetings. Everyone. Two-K Sports brings you the NBA. Hi, this is Kevin Harlan, joined by my partners Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg. A contest in the West. We'll see if the Los Angeles Clippers can deliver the goods here at home. Last time in Oakland, they lost to the Warriors.
Just looking at the stat sheet, they gave far too many free throws away in that game. Maybe it was the noise in the building or something, but they really looked rattled.
Well, Greg, I don't know if it was the biggest reason for that loss, but all of those misses from the stripe clearly had an impact on that game.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. Setting the floor for the Warriors. Thompson is the 2 with Barnes at the 3. Maurice Spates out there with Green, and it's Iguodala in at the 1.
Boy, for Jamal Crawford, guys, it's been a really good career. Not many guys can maintain his level of quickness after 15 years in the league. But last season, he finally started to show a little wear and tear.
Paul against Iguodala. Pulls up on the wing. Chris Paul again. Paul's got his second bucket of the night. And it's Golden State's ball. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to the Raptors.
Yeah, and that was a night where they just didn't seem to be the type of team that we've grown accustomed to seeing. It was more about them being individuals on the floor than the collective unit.
Guys, I think it was simply a vacuum of leadership. Nobody really gathered the team and tried to rally them or pull them together. That was most disappointing about the loss to me.
And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. Thompson from long range, and the Warriors miss again. The Clippers have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. It's Pierce with the drive, 16 feet away, and Crawford gets it to go on the assist by Pierce. Crawford's got his first points of the game. Warriors have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Thompson with the bucket.
A good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
For Los Angeles, they've gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Kicks to Griffin. Dishes it to Pierce. There's a screen. Off the left rim and out.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Looking at Los Angeles, they want to turn it around after the loss to the Detroit Pistons.
And you don't have to go too deep into the box score to figure out why they lost that one. They just had an inability on that day to make shots.
You know, sometimes we talk about a defense getting into the heads of the opposing players, Greg, but that night they got up in their own heads, just got in their own way and couldn't get out of it. Last season, the Clippers came away with the 3rd seed out west. They were very tough in conference and managed to get 37 of their 56 wins against Western Conference teams.
Aldridge with it. He's covered by Thompson. Pierce with a wide open look. Pierce with another miss. And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played, Barnes can't get it to go.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
As you said, for the Clippers, 37 wins last year against the rest of the West. That total was the 2nd most against the rest of the West among any team in the league. Trailed only Golden State in that regard.
And you know what? They played the top West teams tough as well. One of only 3 Western Conference teams to be over 500 against the rest of the playoff teams from the West.
And here is Paul after the three-pointer from Andre Iguodala. For 3, Pierce, and he gets it to go.
And how about that for a response?
Well, it sounded as though, or at least it looked as though it sounded like, we'll give you a 3, and then we'll take it right back.
Now Paul, after the missed 3 from Klay Thompson. The open shot by Pierce, and a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Pierce has got 5. The Warriors trail. And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Hey, Kevin, I caught up with Coach Doc Rivers. He told me he's a fan of Andre Iguodala, especially the way he's developed his outside shot. He said that was one weakness. He could do everything else, pass, handle, and finish. And boy, what a defender. But now that he's developed that jump shot, there are really no weaknesses in his game. Guys, that makes it awfully tough to deal with a guy who can impact the game in that many ways. Back to you.
And thank you for that, Doris. Now Iguodala after the missed 3 from Jamal Crawford. Green, no luck.
Well, you know, last season Steve Kerr came into a good situation, but a touch awkward. The team wasn't 100% on board with the firing of the previous coach, but he won them over in a hurry.
Chris Paul, guys, for the last decade, the best point guard in the NBA. Now, there's some new competition for that distinction, though, with Steph Curry breaking through to NBA stardom. And it's always exciting to watch these two go head-to-head.
A big group substitution here for the Clippers. Smith checked in for Aldridge. Johnson comes in for Paul Pierce. And Stevenson's checked in for Jamal Crawford. And it's Pablo Prigioni in for Chris Paul. Now here's Johnson. Prigioni, that's a 2-pointer. And misses it off the right side of the rim. How would you compare Chris Paul and Steph Curry?
Well, Steph Curry is just an off-the-chart shooter. I think the best in the history of the game in overall shot making and creativity as far as shooting goes. Paul is more of an orchestrator, a maestro supreme.
And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. Well, guys, Josh Smith, an interesting case. Clark, he shot about 2 triples a game last year, yet for the last 3 seasons, free throw percentage has been under, surprisingly, 55%.
Yeah, and that's terribly troubling. I mean, his three-point percentage improved in Houston, but the free throws, really, he can do much better than that. You look at his stroke, I think it's just a matter of concentration with Josh.
Now, here's Thompson. 14 points from him the last game against Toronto.
Yeah, but he was the ultimate two-way player. Defensively, also doing a great job. A couple blocks in that game as well.
Now Smith. Harrison Barnes missing on the 3.
And with Smith and his shooting, a lot of it is mental. I mean, he has a terrific stroke from anywhere. The free throws are all in his head because he can make threes. He's just got to be a little more focused.
And he gets it to go.
And another lead change here. How many of these are we going to have tonight?
I'm not quite sure, but I'm willing to bet it'll be more than a few.
Prigioni kicks to Griffin. With the fadeaway. No luck.
The fadeaway was the right shot there because it got his attempt away from the defender, but the touch was poor.
So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Warriors lead by 1. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment. And let's take a moment to hear a little bit from Josh Smith about his development throughout his NBA career.
Coming in at 18, really inexperienced, not knowing what this league was about.
You kind of hear that growth in his voice, don't you think? And it's interesting to hear Josh Smith talking about getting introspective about himself and his game at this point of his career.
That's a great point there, Kevin. I mean, like he says, he really has grown tremendously as a player, as a teammate, as a man, and just as an adult person in society. And he's become a real credit to our game.
And off we go, a close game now starting the second quarter. And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Warriors.
Guys, they are dialed in from beyond right now. They didn't waste any time getting into a groove in this game.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
We've got Cole Aldrich. Smith is out there with Johnson. It's Lance Stevenson. And it's Paul in at the point guard position. They're the group out there for the Clippers starting the second quarter. It was the season of destiny, and the Warriors certainly followed through. Clark, the best team in the league all year, and they finished the job beating the Cavs in the finals.
And they were on a mission from the get-go. They would become another team to win 65 games or more and win the finals. Impressive work.
Just over 1 minute has passed here in the second quarter. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far. He is an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He picks the simple one-handed stuff to get the 2 points.
Yeah, and in a close game, though, guys, those could be really important points.
Iguodala, no good.
It's not winning basketball when you're attempting shots like that.
Yeah, come on now. You got to remember it's a team game. He's got 4 teammates out there with him. I don't think he needs to try to do it all by himself like that.
And there's the foul, and it's on Jason Thompson. So for the Clippers, Pierce comes in for Wesley Johnson. And it's Crawford in for Lance Stevenson. The Warriors also with a sub. Green's checked in. To the middle. Here's Smith. Green with the block. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Clippers will retain possession. The Warriors making a switch here. Spades is checked in. Here's Crawford. And again, no good by the Clippers. The Warriors leading. Thompson for the triple. It's rebounded by Paul. Paul's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Down low, Aldrich kicks to Crawford. Outside Pierce. Jump shot is good. Pierce has got the game tied up here for the Clippers. Golden State's gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter so far. And here's Iguodala outside. And again, it's the Warriors missing.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier. Boy, Doc Rivers keeps on leading his teams to successful seasons. A former coach of the year rarely has a season where his team doesn't meet expectations.
Thompson with the bucket. It has been nip and tuck through the first half.
No kidding. I mean, neither team has been able to hold the lead for any length of time, guys.
So close.
Exactly, guys. The way it's seesawed back and forth, unbelievable.
And Doc Rivers passed the 700-win mark as a coach last season. He's climbing the ladder in career wins.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know that Doc oftentimes gets enough credit for the type of coach he is. I mean, as a coach, he is well over 500 in terms of his career win percentage. And how about over 500 in playoff games as well?
Clippers making a change here. Griffin's checked in. Barnes is checked in for Golden State. The shot's good from Smith.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter. Just served him up.
Warriors have gone 3 of 8 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. Got a piece of it. Some nice passing by Golden State. Iguodala no good.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter.
That one goes. Count it. 9 points for Paul Pierce. And here in the second quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes played. Iguodala the pass to Green. The dish now to Thompson. Feeds it to Spates. Back to Thompson. Iguodala up top. Pass to Green. And the Warriors miss again.
Well, I think he had all the space he needed. He just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
Crawford dishes to Griffin. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down.
That one's good, and the Clipper lead is cut down to just 2 points on the bucket from Iguodala. Not to the surprise of anyone, really, but the Clippers last year were strong at home once again. They managed to go 30-11.
That makes 3 straight seasons for the Clippers of 30. More wins at home.
Pablo Prigioni is checked in for Chris Paul. And the Warriors also making a change. Festus Ezeli, he's checked in for Maurice Spates. Here's Pierce. And the rejection by Ezeli. And up the court come the Warriors on the break. It's Barnes smacking it down.
Easy to see who's going to win that race.
Yeah, early offense is often easy offense. Excellent work that time. You know, the big thing for the Clippers is that they won some big games and staples over tough opponents. I mean, also won 6 of their last 7 to secure the 3 seed in the West.
The Warriors have gone 5 of 12 from the field here in the second. Here's Azili. A shot by Thompson. No one's around. The shot will not go. So Los Angeles was able the other way.
And one issue with the Clippers at home is that it didn't feel like they were at home. Bill Griffin said home court advantage is just not there for us. And this is on the heels of a loss where the crowd was cheering for the other team louder than the Clippers at times. And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Gianni. Great D that time from Green.
He's always going to have a difficult time finishing when the defense is in his face like that.
Thompson with the bucket.
And after his last game, really not surprised to see him as hot as he is here tonight.
Here's Brigioni looking for his first basket still in this one. Great open look there. And the Clippers lead by 2.
And fellas, in this quarter, he's improved on what was already a very good performance in period number 1.
Thompson inside the line. And out of bounds as Los Angeles gains possession. Both teams deciding to change it up. Here's Brigioni. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. Here's Griffin, and he gets the final spin, and that one drops. Griffin's got the lead up to 4 now for Los Angeles. Up in time. Cannot hit. And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. The Clippers on top, up 5-4. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Kevin, I've got Paul Pierce, and the truth...
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith, and it's the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. A pretty close game for the Clippers throughout the first quarter. The biggest lead of the quarter was only 3 points as they traded baskets back and forth. They had a nice burst of energy once they got to the second quarter and ended the half holding on to a 4-point lead. And taking a look at the Clippers, Kenny, what did you see out there?
Well, they're generating points in the paint, which I like to see. Too often teams fall in love with the 3, and the defenses can key on that. You want to keep your offense unpredictable, which is why you need to establish a presence inside. Once you do that, then you can play inside out, and you've got the defense right where you are.
Jack, what are your thoughts on Golden State?
The three-point shot has really, really helped them out. I don't always like to see teams rely on the 3, but when it's dropping like that, I say roll with it. They keep setting good screens, running these pick and rolls, they'll be tough to beat.
And that's going to do it for now as the second half is almost ready to get...
Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. Klay Thompson has been sensational.
I tell you what, it's a pleasure to watch him when he's at the helm because of that first half, offensively, he was in a zone.
It sure is a treat to watch him, guys. I mean, everything's been running through him, and he's doing a fantastic job keeping the offense clicking on all cylinders.
And on the floor for Steve Kerr as we get into the second half. Barnes and Green of the forward set. Thompson is out there with Iguodala, and it's Spates in at the center position.
You know, the Warriors took some flack when they passed on the chance to trade for Kevin Love, but I really think that the rise of Draymond Green as their stretch 4-man made the decision even better and also kept their cap situation far more flexible.
And Draymond Green won't give you the superstar numbers of a Kevin Love, but he's got a deceptive impact, Clark, at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I call him a value-utility guy because he does a little bit of everything that brings value to your quest to win. His shooting has steadily gotten better, and while he's not an all-star yet, the sum of his total contributions on the floor are impressive.
And Spates gets it to go.
And a big height advantage right there.
You know, it's tough to bring a big man that far away from the goal, but that might be a mismatch they're willing to live with.
And Griffin, here we go. And he bangs it home with one hand.
Right back to the basics there, using the one-hand slam for that.
Doesn't he make the basics pretty exceptional?
Yeah, he does. They look sweet when he does it.
And they better stay with those basics because this game is still yet to be determined. Some of Harrison Barnes' teammates have picture him as the senator because of the way he carries himself. And, you know, a very level-headed, dignified young man, and just he has an air about it.
Inside. Here's Pierce. That's good on the assist by Paul. Paul's got assist number 7 for him tonight.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
That's right. 5 of their last 6 makes were on the interior. They've established their inside presence.
And Harrison Barnes at times has been criticized in the past for not being more Clark on the court.
Well, you know, it's interesting. He had to weather the pressure of expectations since high school. I mean, people were comparing him to Kobe Bryant back then, but HB can't get caught up in that. He's got to be true to himself. You know what I tell guys? Do you.
Yeah.
Do you.
Paul kicks to Aldridge. They double him with Green. In the corner, it's Crawford. Back to Griffin. Puts it up from 17. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot on the line.
And for all of the improvements he's made to his game, one wonders why Blake Griffin isn't a better shot blocker. I mean, he clearly has the motor and the athleticism, but for some reason over his first 5 seasons, he's averaged only a half a block per game.
Looking at who's out there now for the Warriors. Thompson, he's checked in for Spates. And Mooney subbed in for Barnes. A shot by Thompson, and no one's around. And it's off from 3-point range. Clark, this offense has really been clicking.
No doubt about it. Giving the defense all kinds of trouble.
And they know it, guys. They're playing right now with the kind of energy that is hard to deal with.
And regarding Griffin's low block shot number, for some guys, it's simply a certain field mark for blocking shots.
Yeah, you know, there's something about the aptitude for shot blocking that sometimes is understated. Just because you're a high flyer in the front court doesn't mean you're going to block a lot of shots.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need one.
And the Clippers call time here.
You know, the league going to more ball movement, more outside shooting, less isolation play, and those are all natural fits for the talents of Klay Thompson, who's great moving off the ball, and we know he can stroke it from long range.
And Stevenson's checked in for Paul Pierce. Clippers leading by 4. Crawford passes to Stevenson. Now the feed to Aldridge. It's Crawford with the drive, and it's been a while, but he finally gets one to go. Crawford's got his 3rd bucket of the night. Greg, for Thompson, a hard-working defender. You were talking about it. Do you think Clark, his offensive style, frees him up to put more energy into defense?
Well, you know, it could be. I mean, he's extremely smooth. He's uber smooth in how he operates. He doesn't have to drive the lane and absorb a lot of contact to get his shot off, and he's quick and efficient with his offense. So that does leave him more energy for the defensive end.
And guys, Blake Griffin has got to be one of the more humble stars in the league. You rarely hear about off-court issues and interviews. He's engaging and comes off kind of as a regular guy.
That's the way it appears to me, Kevin. The young man has his head screwed on pretty tight and both feet on the ground. He started out as a class act, and he stayed one.
Smith checked in for the Clippers. Johnson comes in for Jamal Crawford. For Los Angeles, they've gone 5 of 7 from the field in the 3rd quarter. Let's see if they can keep it up. Johnson, good.
Looked like he was trying to go for a degree of difficulty points on that shot.
Warriors trail by 7.
And talking about Blake Griffin, one of the more warlike players in our league, but also one of the most teed-up players. Top 5 in the league for the past 4 seasons. He's been ejected from several games as well.
Baseline J on the way. Does not get it. 3rd miss. He's made 4 from the field. The Warriors shooting right around 42% from the field since the start of the 2nd half. They're running. Here's Johnson. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Paul's got 10 assists here tonight. So active. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Clippers.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
Yeah, also, they haven't missed a beat in terms of their fast break game. That's been equally as effective all night long.
And he gets it to go. Los Angeles.
And, you know, getting back to Griffin, it's hard to stay grounded in this league. All the money, endorsements, ad campaigns, commercials, and so forth, that stuff can take you off track. But I think he's going to be grounded and maintain his focus going forward.
Harrison Barnes, he's checked in for the Warriors. Can't get it to go. Some solid defense from Johnson. Here's the Clippers. They're on a 16-7 run. Stevenson with a clean look. The Clippers keep it alive. And it's sent back by Bogut. Smith against Barnes. And taken away by Paul. Stevenson dishes to Smith. 8 feet away. And it falls over the rim and in. And now an 11-point Clipper lead.
Boy, he made a nice little bounce pass there. We call that the pocket pass, and he did it well.
On the wing, Thompson. From the arc. Count the bucket. Thompson's got 10 points in the quarter.
They just continue to splash home those threes. Eliminating the deep shot has to become priority number 1 for this defense.
Absolutely. You cannot allow a team to have that kind of a rhythm from beyond.
And to the ball out of bounds. Bogut touched it last. Here is Stevenson. Playing so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Paul can't get it to go.
Hey, they got the shot they wanted off of that pick, but it just doesn't fall.
Yeah, it didn't go down, but you'll take that shot every single time, Greg. That's good offense.
Well, it's been an exciting game. Plenty of offense as we head to the fourth quarter. Clippers lead by 8. We'll be back shortly live from Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles. The fourth quarter just moments away now as we welcome you back. Los Angeles leading by 8. Paul and Crawford pair up at the 1 and 2. Pierce out there with Smith, and it's Aldrich in at the center. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Clippers. That's a 2 from Smith. And that one hits back iron.
And you know what? That's one of those heat checks if he's taking shots like that.
Yeah, heat check or not, I don't care how hot he may or may not be. He's not making that one.
And Thompson kicks to Barnes. Offline with his 3.
One made 3 that's going for the game. Does he focus closer in? Let's see.
Passes it to Paul. But Green makes the bucket. Now he's got 5 field goals. 5 for 8 in the game.
Yeah, perfect release that time. I mean, I thought it might get blocked, but no.
Yeah, he was giving up a lot of size in that particular matchup, but showed the excellent ability to get off that shot despite the disadvantage in size.
And it's Smith that time on the assist by Paul. And that's now 7 points for Josh Smith. Warriors trail by 10. Thompson for the triple. And another 3 for Golden State.
They're going back to the three-point shot over and over and over.
And they may have found the Achilles heel of this defense. That was their 9th straight point from beyond the arc.
Crawford's shot is good.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Well, once they recognized the advantage they had inside, it made a lot of sense just to continue to attack that area. You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this. And the Warriors put the ball in Thompson's hands a lot more last season. He ran the pick and roll and attacked the rim, taking more advantage of his size and ball handling ability at that off-guard position.
And some changes here for the Warriors. Andrew Bogut checked in for Spates. And it's Green in for Jason Thompson. Here's Crawford. And another make to his scoring count. His 5th basket of the game. Now shooting 5 of 11.
That's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle much more effective.
You just cannot allow the offense to have that quality of a look each and every possession.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
During that break, Coach Rivers had some words for his team. The focus of the discussion was getting their offense to run through Pierce. Coach emphasized getting him as many touches as possible, saying he is going to be one of the guys to carry us the rest of the way. Guys, they're operating under the principle that it's never too late to fine-tune the game plan. Kevin, over to you.
Thanks again, Doris.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
And, Greg, it's hard for me to watch this. I mean, the defense practically giving them those shots.
A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. The offensive rebound, Smith. That's good. He's 5 for 9.
And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
Good scoring by Bogut. Now the Warriors moving it up. Here's Thompson. And he was fine on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Talk about a terrific game for Thompson. 37 points, and he's unleashed a barrage of three-pointers on him.
Dan Clark, you can tell they're good right now when the ball leaves his hand. He has racked up a ton of points.
And despite some of the injuries over the years, Andrew Bogut still one of the game's best shot blockers, averaging well over 2.5 a game in his career. And Greg, he protects the rim like few others can. A rugged player.
And in last season, almost 3 block shots per game. And with all the offensive firepower around him, I think it really allows him to play to his strengths. That's why having a great team is about pieces of a puzzle fitting. He's a terrific piece for this group.
Barnes against Crawford. Jacks up a 3. And again, it's the Warriors missing. Clippers leading by 6. Here's Pierce. Good, and Paul gets the assist. 19 points for Paul Pierce.
And getting back to Bogut, people forget he's a pretty good athlete. The reason he was drafted #1 overall way back when was because of his insane combination of size and movement skill. That's why he remains one of the excellent shot blockers in the league today.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what Steve Kerr was saying to the team. He is not happy with their perimeter defense, saying, guys, way too many open shots for them beyond the three-point line. We've got to press up closer and try to crowd them off the arc. Guys, we'll see if they got the message.
And when you talk about Bogut, I think the Warriors' incredible regular season inspired him. He didn't have to be the star. He just had to take it. Sometimes when you give a guy a specific task to be the best at, that's what he delivers the most.
Thompson inside the line. And the Warriors miss again.
Yeah, it's been about the rebounding. Really, that's the dividing line in this game.
Yep, and they've simply shown more aggressiveness, guys. More desire to secure the ball.
Here's Griffin. Warriors with the rebound. Barnes has got his 3rd rebound on the night. Pass to Bogut. His first shot coming late. Griffin grabs the board. Griffin's got 7 rebounds in the game. Lean against Paul. Crawford, no one around him. That 3 off the mark.
If he can improve on what's been a shaky day for him thus far, they could stretch the lead.
And I like how he puts himself in position there to finish on the break.
Yeah, you know, that's what we call seeing and feeling the game. Excellent read of how that play was going to develop and where the ball was going. That's stuff that you oftentimes can't teach, Greg.
And that last replay courtesy of Pia. And Thompson sends it back. And it's out of bounds. The Clippers able to return possession here. And here are the Clippers now. They've led by as many as 11 points. Barnes kicks to Thompson. Sinks it. Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5.
It has been a 3-point barrage for them since halftime.
Not sure if it's been by design or simply by accident, but either way, it has been impressive.
It's going to take something special for them to come back now.
Well, I would say something special and some luck as well, or good fortune, however you want to phrase it.
Here's Paul. Redishes it to Clark. Good, and Paul gets the assist. And the Clippers lead by 9.
Just look at how quickly the lead has grown here over the last few possessions.
Clear case here, partner, of saving their best for last. Quite a run.
And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
Guys, they can just sit on the ball here if they want to.
Sure can, because they've earned the win.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Griffin passes to Clark. To the paint. The shot is off. Nice D from Bogut. Nobody near Barnes. No luck. So the Clippers with the win. They didn't make it easy on themselves or their fans. But Clark in the end, everyone satisfied.
Yeah, you know, it looked like for a moment there the outcome was in doubt. Give him a lot of credit for hanging tough, persevering.
Josh, congrats.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, Ernie Johnson along with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Let's quickly move forward now to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Chris Paul.
You know what? He's a total package as a floor general. It may not be an official ranking for the best leaders in the league, but if there was, CP3 would be.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Hope you enjoyed the show. From myself, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to the NBA on 2K Sports. Excited, thrilled to be here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm so lucky. And coming right up, we'll see this home squad playing against the Chicago Bulls. Chicago is one of the teams right now playing very consistently. Nice job they've been doing over the last 10 games. 8 wins and not having too many problems. And Klay Thompson, the son of former first overall pick Michael Thompson, when he gets hot, he can take over games.
Hey, you know what? This guy, didn't he have 37 in one quarter last year? How incredible is that to get 37 in a quarter?
Not only that, Kenny also had 26 in a quarter later on.
Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg with Doris Burke reporting from the sideline.
Ready to go?
Looking at Chicago, they took the win in their last game against the Suns in Phoenix.
And if you look at the numbers, guys, what jumps out at you is the balance they had offensively.
Very satisfying road win because you're right. There was tremendous balance displayed. The crowd was basically stunned at how they were able to dismantle that defense.
All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. So for Chicago right now, Rose is the 1 with Butler is the 2. At the 4, it's Gasol with Noah at the 5. And it's Snell in at the 3 spot. It's incredible to think that Pau Gasol last year set a career high in points in a game for as long, Clark, as he's played. He had that 46-point game in January.
Yeah, that's 46 points for Pau to go with 18 rebounds. You rarely see a player of his age putting up a career high like that.
Rose against Iguodala. Rose kicks it to Noah. Down low. Banked in off the glass.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
To the middle. Green dishes to Thompson. Takes the 3. And it's good. Thompson's got his first 3 points of the game.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
Rose goes in. Rose with another miss.
Boy, they were ready for him right there. Totally collapsed the defense on him.
Iguodala, that's a 2-pointer. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. Iguodala's got his first 2 points of the night. For Chicago, they've gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. Rose kicks to Gasol. They set the pick. Here's Snell, right now averaging about 5 points a game. Second shot opportunity. Rose kicks to Snell. Passes it to Butler. The second chance effort. That's good on the jump shot. Butler's got his first 2 points.
I don't know. Maybe they're still working out the kinks on D because that clearly was a breakdown.
Thompson for 3. Can't get it to go. Some solid defense from Butler. For Chicago, they've gone 2 of 6 from the field. Rose kicks it to Noah. Pass to Snell. He feeds it to Gasol. Green with the block. Thompson left side. And it's Thompson again missing.
Now that's terrific defense at the rim. Got right in his path.
And they'll be conscious of him next time they take it inside, too. That's what really good defenders do. They make you think about their presence.
And, Kevin, who says a point guard should look to pass first? Not when you can finish like this stuff.
Well, Clark, he wasn't going to give that opportunity up to a teammate.
Well, Kevin, that's one he'll always take himself. And he should. You can't pass up that kind of opportunity or fun.
Andrew Bogut checked in for Maurice Spates.
And guys, Andre Iguodala entered this league as an athlete with raw skills. And bit by bit, though, he refined his game over the years, except in the one category, free throw shooting. In that one area, he was much better over the first 5 years of his career than he has been the last 5.
Kept alive.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
And there's the call on Klay Thompson. Justice Ezeli, he's checked in for Dallas. Taj Gibson's checked in for Chicago. Mirotic comes in for Tony Snell. First quarter of play and just over 3.5 minutes in. Gibson, and a beautiful feed leads to a monster jam.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with the pass.
And we were talking about Iguodala's free throw shooting. It really is a miracle. He's become so efficient, Clark, in every other area of his game. But last year, in his 11th season, he shot the second worst percentage of his career.
Sometimes, Kevin, it's simply a matter of confidence. You miss a few and it gets into your head, and before you know it, the harder you're trying, the worse it gets.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Yeah, they have really owned the interior. You've got to collapse that defense and force them to beat you over the top.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
Rose goes in. It's rebounded by Dallas. Last game matched up with the Clippers. A tough loss there.
Yeah, and listen, you have to take advantage of the freebies. And on that night, they did not. And that is why they just could not recover.
Exactly. I mean, they left too much cheese at the foul line. And in the end, it mattered on the scoreboard and cost them.
And here's Rose. Harrison Barnes getting it to go from deep. Rose passes to Gibson. Here's Gasol, and terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2.
They've done a great job of getting into the middle of that defense and scoring in the paint.
And that's why they're on this run. You get that close to the hoop, and it's a lot easier to make shots.
Chicago making some changes. Mike Dunleavy, he's checked in for Gasol, and Brooks subbed in for Rose. On the wing, Thompson launches a 3. That falls. Nice feed that time from Andre Iguodala. And it's 6 points for Klay Thompson. For Chicago, they've gone an even 50% from the field. They are 7 of 14 for the game. And it's Gibson finishing it off.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
To the middle. Thompson dishes to Bogut. Some nice passing here by Dallas. Screen by Bogut. Thompson from long range. Another 3 for Dallas.
They're going back to the three-point shot over and over and over.
And they may have found the Achilles heel of this defense. That was their 9th straight point from beyond the arc.
And Dunleavy gets it to go in.
That's a clean look they gave him there, fellas, and he drains those.
For Dallas, they've gone 6 of 13 from the field, just under the 50% mark. And here's Barnes for 3. An absolute bomb from three-point range. Barnes has got 6.
12 straight points off of three-pointers, and the D looks shell-shocked.
And guys, now that they're rolling from out there, the defense has to really get up into them. You've got to almost be in their jerseys to try to deny those looks.
But they recover it. A shot by Thompson, and no one's around. It's a tie game in Dallas. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter. And the Gasol brothers, both starters in the All-Star game last season. It's the first time that's happened in NBA history. Pau talked about the joy of sharing the NBA stage with his brother Mark. Well, their story is a bit like a fairy tale, the way 2 of them, sons of medical professionals in Spain, have become 2 of the best centers in the NBA at this age.
Yeah, and especially, Kevin, when you remember what a raw talent and how big and bulky Marc Gasol was when he was drafted by the Lakers, who traded him to Memphis for his brother.
Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And what do you think, guys, about Dallas here in this one?
It's just been a long-range battle for them, and one that they're winning right now.
Yeah, sharp shooting from deep, a big part of why they're up.
On the court right now, second quarter for the Bulls. The big men are Gibson and Noah. Brooks out there with Tony Snell, and it's Mirotic in at the small forward position.
Guys, the Bulls' defense was as stout as ever last season. A big part of that is they have guys that challenge you inside and at the rim. Even off the bench, all of their bigs are mobile and protect the basket. And you can see the importance of that steal. I mean, really a 4-point turnaround with the conversion at the other end right there.
Yeah, the importance of the defense there. Instead of giving up the bucket and having that 5-point deficit, all of a sudden, we got a tie ball game.
And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play. It's going to be Brooks shooting. And it goes on Draymond Green, catching up on the changes for Chicago. Saul comes in for Taj Gibson. And it's Rose in for Mirotic. Talking about the Bulls and their rim protection, they have the lowest opponent field goal percentage on shots right at the rim.
Yeah, and it helps when you compare 7-footers down low. It's not just the bigs, though. Even the perimeter players will track back and challenge at the rim. Really a total team effort.
Gasol setting the pick for Brooks. Shot clock at 6. 14 feet away, and good. Got the English that time as it falls. Gasol's got his second basket.
I like the recognition of the mismatch there, immediately making the defense pay.
And it's Thompson again missing.
It would have been something to see if he could hit that shot from that deep.
Greg, you know it. I know it. There aren't very many guys that can hit from out there, but he is one of them. That's the kind of range he has.
To the middle, here's Spates. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. Spates has got 4 points this quarter. Rose goes in. And it's Klay Thompson with the rebound.
They really depend on him to convert those chances. A lot of times, even with solid D draped on him, they expect him to make it.
The Bulls leading by 3. And here's the fast break. Rose leading the way. Snell, no good.
Well, the term dream season can be applied to Steve Kerr's first year. Comes in and sets the franchise record in wins and also wins a title for the Warriors in his first year. Still unreal.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago.
And Maurice Spates last season was the best year of his career. I mean, he shot the cover off the ball and did a nice job on the boards as well.
Rick, you were just talking about Mo Spates. Clark, he has a great mid-range jump shot.
He does, and they actually call him Mo Buckets. But he actually played so well last season, they even threw in Mo VP from time to time.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. Thompson comes in for Maurice Spates. And it's Livingston in for Klay Thompson. Back to Thompson. Dallas moving it around. The pass to Looney. Inside. Livingston, that's good. And Dallas leads by 1.
And back and forth we go. That bucket gives us another lead change.
Too many of those to count. These teams have matched each other shot for shot, play for play. It has been impressive.
And Gasol slams it in. Guys, what a tight start to the game this has been.
You know what? Can you believe there have been 7 lead changes already, guys?
Wow.
And it's still in the first half. This could be a wild one.
Here's Livingston. No good from outside. For Chicago, they've gone 5 of 7 from the field here in the second. Rose attacking. No good. He missed it. Brings him to 3 for 8 this game. Pass to Looney. Pulls up on the wing. That one off the back iron and out.
And you know what? That's one of those heat checks if he's taking shots like that.
Yeah, heat check or not. I don't care how hot he may or may not be. He's not making that one.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
Dallas calls timeout and going against Chicago, their first meeting of the season.
And you have to love it when there's a matchup like this. 2 teams that are at the top of their respective conferences going at it.
Well, you know, they split their meetings last season, and the way both of these teams love to compete, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened again.
Changing it up here. Dallas trails by 3. Here is Livingston. Gasol with the steal. And it's Rose penetrating. Here's Dunleavy. Shot is off. Now Dallas takes it the other way. They're off to Denver after this game as they apply their skills at the Pepsi Center. That'll be just one game played away from home for them.
And we get a chance to check out the numbers for Gasol. He's around 18 points per game, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists. And he does the heavy lifting on the glass, throwing himself into the rebounding battle with just complete effort.
Sure is. I mean, he thinks every rebound is his, and most of them are. That's why he's putting up such big numbers.
Taj Gibson's checked in for Chicago. Mirotic comes in for Pau Gasol.
I tell you what, he has quite the act to follow, but Fred Hoiberg was a quick choice for the brass in Chicago. Signed that 5-year deal over the summer, was easily one of the most in-demand coaches available.
Dallas has gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Here's Livingston. Tried to answer back, but that three is off the mark. The Bulls leading by 5. Rose with the ball. Guarded now by Barnes. And it's Gibson, that time on the assist by Rose. 8 points here for Taj Gibson. For Dallas, they've gone 5 of 12 from the field here in the second. Babb kicks to Livingston. Off target from outside. And here are the Bulls now. They're on a 9-1 run. It's stolen by Green. Fast break, Dallas. Count that one. The Bulls' lead has been cut down now to just 5 on the bucket from Babb.
Beautiful double clutch. Great job to get the shot past the defender.
Dunleavy kicks to Mirotic. And he goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
Rose against Green. And it's Rose penetrating. Green with the block. Here's Livingston. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. Thompson's got assist number 5 here tonight.
How about that cloth soft touch? I mean, just a gentle little teardrop, almost like a falling leaf. A leaf falling down slowly to the ground. Very sweet and colorful, too.
And the first half comes to a close.
Hi, Kevin. I'm here.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We're going to break down the first half act. It was a closely contested first quarter for Chicago. They never dug too deep a hole for themselves in the first period. The most they trailed by was 5. They started to take control of the game in the second quarter and pulled away nicely, heading into halftime up by 5. And Kenny, what did you think about what you saw from Chicago?
Well, they forced their way to some easy bucket.
And now, folks, it's just about time for the third.
Let's take them back.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters.
It's been a solid outing for Thompson. He has 11 points, and he's got 9 points from behind the arc.
And that's been an important part of his game today. It's really spaced the floor.
Iguodala out there with Klay Thompson. Then there's Harrison Barnes. Then there's Maurice Spates, and it's Green in at the 4 slot. That's Steve Kerr's 5 as we get into the second half. Here's Snell. Gasol is screen on Iguodala. And it's Rose penetrating. Here's Noah, and he uses the glass on the layup. Noah's got the lead up to 7 now for the Bulls.
Hard work on the glass once again, fellas. They put a lot of effort into their rebound.
There's a reason why they have 3 seconds in the lane, and that interior play has made a big difference in this game.
The Bulls have gone 1 for 1, making their previous attempt at the line.
Yeah, looking over their percentage on the season, I think they will be thrilled with the number in terms of their free throw percentage, 79.
That's been one of the strongest aspects of this team this season. I mean, there have been very few off nights for them at the free throw line. Really impressed with the way Jimmy Butler last season made big strides in his game, going from a supporting role player to someone you can build your team around.
Man, that is not an easy shot right there. I mean, he had to get it off over a much taller defender.
Yeah, he needed to add just a little more loft on that one because of the size mismatch, and he did it perfectly.
And they're just raining threes on both ends.
Boy, I love the answer. You come at me with the three, I'm coming right back with my own triple.
Rose gets a wide open look. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. And it's a 10-point Chicago lead. And Jimmy Butler had the career highs across the board last season. Won the Most Improved Player of the Year award. Really picking up his production in his fourth season.
You know, we had seen the flashes of potential in Butler before. Last season, he sustained great play and really took everything to the next level.
Dallas making a switch here. Bogut's checked in, and a change for the Bulls. Aaron Brooks, he's checked in for Derrick Rose. Brooks, the pass to Butler. Dishes it to Gasol. Fades back. Rebounded by Bogut.
Not the best shot right there with a good defender draped all over you.
I agree with you. I mean, not the shot they were hoping for, but he can really cause problems with his defense.
I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, he kind of slid underneath as he got to the spot, too.
Festus Ezeli, he's checked in for Dallas. Bogut sets a screen for Thompson. Ezeli, that's in, coming off the assist from Thompson.
They're doing work here in the second half. 3 or 4 to start.
Brooks kicks to Butler. And there's the call on Klay Thompson.
Oh, no. Bad time to slip up there, Kevin. They got to stay focused.
And taking a technical there is the last thing you want to do. The opposite of smart basketball.
You know, Jimmy Butler is one of those guys who had to overcome major odds just to get to the NBA. Reportedly, his father abandoned the family when Jimmy was an infant. Mom kicked Jimmy out when he was 13. The obstacles and adversity go on, yet he's made it and made it big.
And going back to Jimmy Butler, there were just so many times when he was set up to fail. He was not heavily recruited out of high school. He was even homeless when he was in high school in the Houston area. Went to a junior college, then Marquette, now in the NBA. So he played his freshman year at a junior college, which I think humbled him just a bit, but maybe gave him that work ethic that is so much, Greg, a part of his game now.
And Kevin, the talent was there. And most of all, as we see how he dealt with adversity, the heart was there. He blocked out the distractions. It finally transferred to a major college and worked his way into becoming a first-round pick.
Brooks outside. Over to the wing. A wide open look for Gasol. That's short off the rim.
Even though he isn't having the best of games from the floor, it hasn't seemed to hurt him.
And going out of bounds. Last touch by Barnes. Here is a list of the NBA's most adept passing teams this season. These are your assist leaders. Number 5, the Bulls.
You know, a team that shares the ball freely will create opportunities for the right player to score more times than not. They don't have to force it. Everybody recognizes that if they move and get open, the ball will find them.
Taj Gibson's checked in for Noah. Chicago leading by 9. Brooks outside. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup. Brooks has got 5.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time.
The Bulls making a switch here. Mirotic is checked in. The Bulls have gotten 5 of 8 shots to fall for them in the third quarter. A nice 62% from the field. Good looking screen by Gasol. Right side, Butler. It's rebounded by Dallas.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Bogut down low. Gibson on him. There's 1:54 left in the third. Here's Butler. Barnes grabs the miss. Barnes has got 4 rebounds in this game. Looking to get it going. Out to Thompson. Jacks up a 3. And it's Thompson again missing.
He can't seem to find the range here in the second. He did a great job in the first, hitting 3 from outside.
And again, Chicago, no good. Dallas trails by 11. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going.
You know what, guys? He can really light it up from the perimeter at times.
And Mirotic kicks to Gasol. And the rejection by Azili.
Festus Ezeli. That's his first personal foul.
In a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the Bulls.
And I like how they've taken the high percentage shot in the paint. In that first half, we saw them doing it, and they've continued to succeed as the game has worn on.
Another thing they've done tonight well is share the ball. So many of their points have come off of good, crisp passes.
Thompson, he's checked in for Dallas. Green comes in for Azili. They get it back out of bounds. Dallas takes possession.
And let's take a moment here to see some of the numbers for Butler. 6th in three-point field goal percentage. And ranked among the top 10 in scoring. He can fill it up with the best of them.
And, you know, back to his efficiency from 3. You know, defenses are now trying to deny him the basketball, but really not having any success.
Yeah, just a solid job on the backboard. They are really controlling the inside.
Well, they're working the glass, really battling in that area of the game, and that's helped them take this lead.
Well, close to picking that one off.
Still a nice play to make sure that pass didn't reach its target.
Dallas making a switch here. Spates is checked in. Dunleavy's checked in for the Bulls. Rose in the post. He's covered by Iguodala. That's in for his 5th field goal of the game. Makes him 5 for 12 so far. Dallas trails by 11. And Thompson kicks to Green. Again, the miss by Green. Now, here's Butler. Right now, he averages nearly 23 points a game, a relentless offensive force. He's shooting free throws, number 4 in 5 years.
An 85% mark from the line. There aren't too many players in the league who are going to sport a much better percentage.
You know, he's been one of those players they've wanted on the line as much as possible this season, especially in close games, guys.
Thompson for the triple. Off target. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Bull. Welcome back. 4th quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. Chicago leading by 13 on the court for the Bulls, getting this 4th quarter started. Rose and Snell teaming up in the backcourt. Noah is out there with Mirotic, and it's Dunleavy in at small forward. And so here is Dallas. Thompson for the triple. That one falls. Coming off Iguodala's feet. Iguodala's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Rose goes in. Noah. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
And really a good job spotting his teammate near the bucket and then just pinpoint passing for the finish.
There's the triple. Again, the miss by Thompson.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it. gritty and rough, but that's how you win games.
From that in-between range, they've been the much better team.
Well, when you knock down jumpers like that, it opens everything else up as well.
Rose kicks to Dunleavy. Misses the three.
You know, even though he missed that three-point shot, I think the defense has to do a better job of challenging the shot.
Yeah, as a coach, you can really ill afford to have those types of opportunities presented against your defense.
Noah the screen. The open shot, Rose. Nice teamwork to set up the pick play and make the space for the J.
And you know what? He's shaking off the cold shooting performance from the first half.
Watching Mike Dunleavy Jr., he's simply the mark of consistency. You know he's in his mid-30s, but you know exactly what you're going to get out of him every season. I think Tom Thibodeau, last year's Chicago coach, really admired that and loved it.
It's so funny watching Mike Dunleavy Jr. play. I remember when his dad coached me when I was with Portland, and he was a little kid running around, and all of a sudden he's become this great NBA player. But you're right, though. He's made himself into a valuable asset in terms of the role he's been given for the Bulls.
Snell, no good.
Hey, they got the shot they wanted off of that pick, but it just doesn't fall.
Yeah, it didn't go down, but you'll take that shot every single time, Greg. That's good offense.
And it's Iguodala missing.
Talking about Dunleavy, boy, I tell you, he was playing at a high level already by his second season in the league. Practically every statistic across the board matches up since then, and that's over a decade later.
Gasol against Green to the wing right side. Barnes, the 15-footer, good.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync, tremendous communication and awareness.
And getting back to Dunleavy's consistency here in his later years, he's one of those guys who has really ramped up the nutrition. He's getting the weight good. I could make the case that he was a tougher, better player last year, especially on defense, than at any other time in his career. And Andre Iguodala, guys, one of the most unselfish players in the league. I mean, that unselfishness for me, too, is what was put to a test last season as the former All-Star was asked by his coach, Steve Kerr, to come off the bench for the Warriors. And you know what? He did it without complaint, putting the team first.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, I was able to listen in on what the head coach of the Chicago Bulls was going over in his huddle. He told the players, let's put our foot on them and keep them down. We've got them exactly where we want them. I want to see you guys slow the pace, use the clock, and stay away from any silly fouls.
And the whistle blow is going to be on Andre Iguodala. That's foul number 2 for him. And for Iguodala, some have said he's unselfish, Clark, to a fault.
Yeah, and you know, a great athlete and ball handler, I think he could be much more aggressive looking to attack off the dribble. He's really unique, though, a player who puts his emphasis on the defensive end and does a really good job at that end of the floor.
Plenty of daylight on that shot. Snell's got 4 points now in the quarter.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
Thompson against Butler. And Thompson kicks to Barnes. From deep. And Iguodala gets it to go in on the assist by Barnes. And that's now 6 points for Andre Iguodala. Rose against Iguodala. Rose kicks to Gasol. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. That's good. And the Bulls lead by 15.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Thompson.
Bulls ball.
The Bulls leading by 15. Rose kicks to Snell. Noah dishes to Gasol. It's stolen by Green. And, oh, here we go with Green. Nobody back.
Oh! And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case. It looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant. And this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
That Kia Slam Cam replay really gave you a good look at the action. Butler passes to Gasol. 5 on the clock. Lets it go from deep. And it's Butler missing.
And it's still a close game. I mean, despite the fact that they've struggled to compete on the boards.
Yeah, you know, but down the stretch here, guys, they'll summon that extra effort to try and get it done, I think.
Rose attacking. And that one's good by Noah. And he's now got the double-double. 10 points and 10 rebounds. And so here is Dallas. It's deflected. And here's Rose. Noah, the